I had to right after I saw the premiere. So I think that the movie had a lot of lessons for Black America. I do think that Kilmonger was a painful reflection. That article is coming out tomorrow on rollingout.com. But I think that it was a really clever way of showing some of the inter-community issues that we have. So you have some people who believe that, I don't care about the rest of the people. I'm just going to, get money for myself and my family. And if I have to sell drugs to do that, and if I have to gangbang to do that, I don't care. And then you have some other people who feel like...
Who was the person?
No, not in the movie. I'm saying Killmonger's attitude is a reflection of what's going on to me in the Black community and what has gone on. And all of that is a reflection of what happens when you have a group of people who are disconnected from their heritage.
Can we stop right there, though, before we move to the next point? Mm-hmm. Like, soon as you get down with your point on number one before we move to number two.
Right. No. I think that's the overall point. Okay. That's my collective point, is that all the problems that we have, one of the things, the biggest message in the movie to me was that there was a way for T'Challa he was connected to where he came from. You know what I mean? His father, there was traditions passed down. Not all of them were right, but they had a sense of who they were. They were on a firm foundation because they knew where they came from. And this is the way we do things, and this is who we are. Where Kilmonger had no clue where he came. He knew what his father had gone through, but he had never been there. And so he adopted the principles of
the American way.
To the American way, and he did all that under an ignorance of this is how to do things to get ahead. But he was totally lost. And there's a scene where he goes back after he becomes king and talks to his father, and you see him as that lost little boy. And to me, that just looked like Black America.
Absolutely. I mean, and they actually made a point to say that Kilmonger had been trained by the American troops, and he had learned the American way.
Right.
He learned the murder, right. Kill, eat what you kill, go for yours. That type of mentality, and so he embodied that.
Right.
But he still had he still had a heart for what others were going through in the slums and not being able to.
He was angry, though.
He was the only one. T'Challa was a dickhead.
How you figure that?
I promise you.
How was he a dickhead?
I'm gonna tell you how. He's a fucking trillionaire. He has no care for any of the regular people. Name one regular person you saw in this movie.
Well, he had a care for his people.
No, he didn't.
His responsibility as king was to take care of his
Show me
people,
one happy regular folk. All we saw was kings and generals and goddesses and motherfucking soothsayers.
Well, that's because that was the movie. But he kept saying
there
that
is no community.
I'm responsible
There's no
for
community
Wakanda.
where a trillionaire
is an entire country.
I know, but there's no community, country, whatever, where there's a trillionaire. There's the 1%. I need to see the motherfuckers in the ghetto, because there's a ghetto in Zamunda. I mean,
Wakanda.
There's no ghetto.
There's definitely a ghetto.
They have technology.
No.
There definitely is a ghetto in Wakanda.
The ghetto is because they were saying that Wakanda is a third world country, which I didn't even.
No, that's what the Americans were saying.
I don't know what the term third world really.
That's what the Americans were
saying. But that's a different conversation.
Cool way of saying
there were two people.
Right.
There were only two real people in the whole movie.
Okay.
Nakia and Kilmonger. That's it. The rest of them were on their high horses, living the trillionaire life, or living by the trillionaire, the man sitting next to the man. I promise you, there were only two real people. The rest of these people were dickheads.
Well,
they were rich, spoiled brats.
That was part of what T'Challa's epiphany is that that's why he went and snapped on the ancestors. Y'all were wrong.
About snapping.
You shouldn't have left him behind.
Right.
You shouldn't have left him behind because you created this.
He only had to get his ass kicked to understand that.
Well, that's part of what Black Americans and Native Africans have to deal with, is the fact that, like, I've been told that Africans don't like us. I've been told that before.
But that's
I don't
bullshit
know that that's true, but that's what I've been told.
I do think that there are bad relations between Africans and African Americans, but a lot of that is because African Americans have been taught to reject their history. And so
in the name, we're rejecting it in the name. African American, continent American, America's a country, Africa's a continent American. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and you know what, to be honest with you, if you're Black and you're born in America, you probably shouldn't be calling yourself African American.
I don't.
But what are you?
Because